that you feel like he allegedly like put a hit out on your brother.
Yeah.
How did y'all find that out?
For putting money on his head. I forgave you for putting money on my head. I had a whole shootout and still forgave you. I might be funny and all, man, but I'm surgical with that bitch, Jay.
If Moneybagg Yo tries to pay to have Finesse2Tymes whacked, he might just wind up in jail. We have obtained audio that purports to show Moneybagg Yo trying to employ Hitman to get this man fired by supposedly placing money on Finesse2Tymes' head. The weird part comes next. Bagg has been putting in extra effort to keep people from discussing this issue. The streets don't forget that his label, CMG, is constantly removing videos and audio files. And we're going to start by dissecting this entire complex situation today. This is no longer a rap feud. This timing is left. We are discussing actual hitmen, real money, and real repercussions that might have killed one of the most gifted musicians in Memphis. Let me give you a little overview of Memphis before we go into this mayhem. Some of the hardest rappers in the world come from this city. Young Dolph, Yo Gotti, 3 6 Mafia, and several others are responsible for popularizing that gritty southern sound. The distinction between the streets and the music, however, is almost completely blurred in Memphis. These musicians live their lives, not just rap about them. Born Demario Dwayne White Jr., Moneybagg Yo grew up in Memphis' Castalia Heights neighborhood. Since 2012, this man has been working hard, releasing mixtapes and attempting to establish himself in a city that is already crowded with talented people. He was willing to go to any lengths to get his music recognized because he had the drive and need to succeed. Ricky Hampton, better known by his stage as Finesse2Tymes, comes from the same family. Coming home to a city that doesn't really provide many chances outside of the streets or the studio, this cat has been in and out of the system placing bids. Finesse was determined to make music his way out when he returned home from his most recent spell. He had bars. He was respected in his community and had street reputation. Now, this is what you need to know. Your reputation is crucial in Memphis. If you don't have the scars to back it up, you can't just say you're from the streets. These two men both possessed the genuineness and life experience that makes for impactful music. However, their rivalry was hazardous because of the same genuineness that made their music so captivating. The Memphis rap culture is very competitive despite its close-knit community. Everyone is acquainted with everyone. However, that does not imply that everyone eats at the same time. Politics, territory, and unspoken conventions pertaining to loyalty and respect are all present. There are more repercussions for breaking such standards than just losing followers or record deals. They discuss revenge in real life. Young Dolph enters the picture at this point, which is where things start to get interesting. You see, in February 2017, Moneybagg Yo was still establishing his reputation and working hard, but he had yet to reach the next level. At first, I Need a Plug was just another song in his catalog when he released it. However, a subsequent event completely altered the course of Memphis rap politics. Young Dolph chose to participate in the remix because he was already well known and respected not only in Memphis but across the country. This was no ordinary characteristic though. By doing this, Dolph was effectively co-signing Bagg to the entire city and beyond. It's like receiving a blessing from the rap gods themselves when someone like Dolph co-signs you in Memphis. The song became really insane. We are referring to the kind of music that is played in every car, club, and public space around the city. All of a sudden, Moneybagg Yo was more than just a struggling rapper from Memphis. He was the next in line. The one selected, the artist who had been given a feature by Dolph himself. However, this is the point at which Finesse2Tymes joins the narrative and things start to take a turn for the worse. Finesse was attempting to re-enter the music scene after returning from a bit upstate. While he was incarcerated, the streets had changed. He was attempting to establish himself in this changing scene as new musicians had surfaced. Now, it's clear from numerous interviews and unofficial sources that Finesse wasn't merely cheering Bagg on from the sidelines. He actively participated in the process of creation. We talked about being in the studio when Bagg was composing the songs that would later make him famous, ghostwriting, and helping with punch. Finesse said that when Bagg was stuck in the booth and couldn't think of bars, he would tap on the glass and say, "Get Finesse, I need help with these punch."
We end up bumping heads like, stop talking, we stop fucking off, you know what I'm saying? You know, but the whole time though, I was fucking with him, we in the studio and shit, y'all seeing these vlogs, these videos and shit, these my songs, these my verses, these my words. Every time your whack ass stand in the booth, can't come up with nothing, you tapping the window. Hey, get two times, hey, bro, where to go with this? Hey, I done it, you know what I'm saying, on the strength that I'm feeling like this is my nigga and that he gave me an opportunity fresh out of jail, you know what I'm saying? You know, I came home, I was out like a month, two.
This was meant to be his friend, supporting him, and expressing love to someone who was about to explode. But it turned into something more. In essence, Finesse2Tymes was helping to create the music that made Bagg well known. However, when young Dolph made some remarks that Finesse2Tymes thought were disrespectful, Finesse2Tymes retaliated by speaking his thoughts, just like any true street dude would. Moneybagg Yo, who was attempting to keep his relationship with Dolph intact because that feature had greatly advanced his career, was not pleased with that response. Due to some trivial street politics, Bagg believed Finesse2Tymes was endangering his greatest opportunity. Here is where the actual drama takes place. And because No Love, the brother of Finesse2Tymes, spoke out in several interviews, we were able to obtain the invoices. No Love claims that they attempted to work things out at a meeting in North Memphis. Head and them were there as mediators, attempting to maintain harmony between these two Memphis musicians, who ought to have been collaborating rather than squabbling. Finesse2Tymes, however, was not about to back down. Bagg didn't sense that energy when he essentially said, "I said what I said because you said what you said. That's street mentality. You disrespect me. I'm going to respond accordingly regardless of the consequences." Given how much he had contributed to Bagg's music, he thought Finesse2Tymes was being rude and unappreciative. There must have been a great deal of tension in the room. You have two street guys who are both arrogant, feel mistreated, and won't give up. The mediators made an effort to mediate the conflict, but when egos collide, a peaceful conclusion is occasionally impossible. This is where things become really sticky, and Moneybagg Yo was probably most hurt by this phase. When Finesse2Tymes went live on social media in March 2017, she revealed something shocking that rocked the Memphis scene. "I'm Moneybagg's ghost. I'm writing his music. I'm pinning his bars." He asserted that he was Moneybagg Yo's ghostwriter, which is one of the most damaging accusations in the rap game. That kind of claim has the power to ruin your reputation, your sincerity, and your entire career. Furthermore, Finesse2Tymes wasn't merely making unfounded assertions. He was in possession of receipts. Months before Bagg's Heartless mixtape was formally published, there is video footage from November 2016 that features Finesse2Tymes rapping lyrics. "We are discussing bars that resemble bodies, bodies, and body. My young friend who is plundering the city expressed his desire for a Bugatti. I understand. I'm chasing a dream," I informed him. "I was able to live for my daughter." Bagg composed this song, but Finesse2Tymes was playing it long before anyone else did. According to Finesse2Tymes' thorough explanation, Bagg would be tapping on the glass like, "Get finesse. Get 2 times. Hey bro, what go with this?" When he entered the studio and was unable to think of bars, Finesse2Tymes described this as helping someone he thought of as family, someone who had given him a chance after being released from jail. However, Finesse2Tymes also demonstrated that the dynamic went beyond simple helpfulness. He claimed that Bagg was carefully utilizing Finesse2Tymes' talent to assist in creating the music that would propel him to the next level, since he knew he was going to explode big. Bagg might have viewed what Finesse2Tymes saw as brotherhood as business. The video proof was incriminating. Finesse2Tymes is here, rapping the exact same lines that would subsequently be used on Bagg's breakthrough effort. Heartless was released months before. The way he delivered the bars, the timing, and the precision, all of this suggested that he was well versed in the process of making Bagg's music. Moneybagg Yo is currently making a lot of money off of tracks that Finesse2Tymes helped develop, but their relationship is rapidly failing. Tension was first raised by the young Dolph incident, and now Finesse2Tymes is openly asserting that he ghost-wrote for Bagg. This kind of charge has the power to ruin a rapper's reputation and career. However, something occurred that turned the conflict from rap politics to street combat, just as it was getting heated. A shooting occurred at South Memphis 360 Sports Bar and Grill on April 2, 2017, when Finesse2Tymes was performing. More than 20 rounds were fired, 2 persons were struck, and bullets passed through the lift to the hotel upstairs. According to police reports and witness testimony, Mary Trice, the venue manager, called the situation complete chaos. She went home early since Finesse2Tymes' performance seemed typical. However, she received a call around midnight informing her that bullets were being fired from the parking lot into the building. She indicated there was more than 1 bullet. About 20 bullets. The gunshots reached the hotel's lift after hitting 2 persons. This is serious. They are actually harming and murdering people. This is where No Love's testimony becomes quite specific. Additionally, this is movie-type content. He claims that they learnt the show was a setup earlier that day. Finesse2Tymes was adamant about performing even though they knew something wasn't right. The money wasn't the only issue here. It was about showing him respect and preventing others from thinking they could take advantage of him. They drew up 12 cars deep, ready for anything, according to No Love. Everyone was strapped and prepared for battle, and they had personnel stationed at the club's 2 entrances. No Love claimed that upon arriving at the location, he approached a bald-headed CMG affiliate and obtained the funds for the performance. However, he has been observing strange activity the entire time. A bunch of people who didn't belong there are attempting to enter backstage during the performance. Even though No Love's gut told him something wasn't right, they were already dedicated to the show. He stood just behind Finesse2Tymes on stage, keeping a hawk-like eye on the audience and being prepared to respond to any danger. No Love keeps an eye on the crowd during the concert, searching for any indications of danger. In the center of the crowd, he spots the same dubious gang that had earlier attempted to enter backstage. He knew something was going to happen when he saw them leave via the front entrance. The DJ then confirms that it was a setup by doing something. As Finesse2Tymes takes the stage, he performs a Moneybagg Yo diss track. In any other circumstance, though, this could simply be poor judgment or DJ politics. However, this was essentially a warning that the trap was about to be laid. Given the tension between Finesse2Tymes and Bagg, and the fact that they were already skeptical of a setup, the events that followed are right out of a war film, and No Love's in-depth narrative provides us with a minute-by-minute description of how this ambush transpired. He claims that the shooting began as soon as that diss track came on, and Finesse2Tymes began reacting to it. The messiest portion, though, is right here. The door was locked when they attempted to exit through the back exit from which they had entered. Take a moment to consider that. They were locked inside while bullets were flying by the same security that had let them in, stolen their money, and let them perform. This shooting was not an isolated incident. The goal of this well-planned ambush was to kill Finesse2Tymes. The scene was vividly portrayed in No Love. The bar was struck by bullets. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone is seated beneath tables. He claimed that because Finesse2Tymes' natural tendency was to seek shelter first, his big friend had to take the rifle from him. They have no way out via their intended escape route and are stranded in this club with gunmen outside. This is insane in terms of psychological warfare. They can't see the shooters, but they can hear gunfire and watch as people flee in fear. They have no idea how many people are outside, what kind of weapons they are carrying, or whether this is the start of a bigger attack. They just know that they are being attacked and confined. No Love realized this wasn't about killing Finesse2Tymes, because the gunmen weren't even attempting to enter and do the job. It was about establishing authority, instilling terror, and delivering a message. His words, "These ain't no real killers." Eventually, one of their crew members, No Love, says someone from Grape Street had to shoot out the door's window in order to escape. If you came for a hit and you just came to shoot the spot up, you ain't came to hit nobody. The nightmare, however, was far from ended. Another car was waiting in the street when they eventually arrived at their cars. The chase started as soon as they drove off. No Love recounted how their truck was hit by bullets that were shooting back and forth like something from Grand Theft Auto as they swerved through Memphis streets at a fast pace. He claimed that while the driver was trying to flee at 120 miles per hour, a man in the front seat with a gun out the window was attempting to return fire. No Love claims that the other automobile running out of ammo was the only reason the shooting halted. His partner wanted to exit and complete the task when they reached a red light. However, when the light turned green, the driver of the second vehicle had enough common sense to pull away. They survived a high-speed chase through Memphis and an ambush at the club, but they still attended a strip club after party. This demonstrates the mindset we are dealing with. They were not going to give the impression that they were afraid or giving up, even after coming dangerously close to death. There was another gunshot at the strip club. According to No Love, security began hiding behind cars with their pistols drawn while Finesse2Tymes was arguing with the promoter over his money in the parking lot, behind automobiles. He reported seeing 6 security personnel brandishing their firearms as if they were anticipating combat, as they were flying down the highway at 120 miles per hour. No Love described his friend attempting to get a MAC-10 to function during another shootout. His friend was so irritated by the gun's constant jamming that he wanted to return and complete the task they had begun. Even after they had barely made it out alive, he continued to suggest, "Let's go back." In January 2025, Finesse2Tymes himself confirmed what his brother has been saying all along.
That you felt like he allegedly put a hit out on your brother.
Yeah.
How did y'all find that out?
Finesse2Tymes essentially confirmed No Love's story of that evening during an Instagram live session, stating that Gucci Mane, who pardoned Jeezy, was the only other person he knew who was large enough to forgive someone for placing money on their head. Finesse stated, "I forgave you for putting money on my head," referring specifically to Moneybagg Yo. "Yo, I had a whole shootout and still forgave you."
For putting money on his head. I forgave you for putting money on my head. I had a whole shootout and still forgave you. I might be funny and all, man, but I'm surgical with that bitch, Jake.
We are dealing with street politics at this level. Murder attempts are viewed as merely another aspect of the game. However, fresh revelations have emerged. According to purportedly released audio, Moneybagg Yo is seen trying to hire hitmen to kill Finesse2Tymes by placing money on his head. We purportedly received the receipts, but the streets have been discussing this for years. Additionally, a number of sources claim that Bagg and his group have been putting an extra effort to remove these recordings and films. From a legal perspective, here is where things start to become extremely complicated. You can remove a lot of evidence from the internet if you have the appropriate lawyers and the correct resources. Videos that violate copyright are removed. For terms of service violations, audio is deleted, making it increasingly difficult to locate the evidence that everyone was discussing. However, the internet endures forever, and the streets never forget. Backups are created by people. They record the screen. Before they are erased, they download files. Therefore, the evidence has a way of coming to light again, even after the official channels have been cleaned up. The depth of this issue is demonstrated by the fact that we are even having this discussion in 2025. This is more than simply a squished old beef. There are serious legal and street ramifications to this ongoing crisis. Evidence of a federal case is when you have leaked audio that purports to show someone attempting to kill someone else. The entire episode demonstrates how easily things can get out of control in the music business, particularly when street politics are involved. What began as a creative collaboration between two Memphis musicians, with Finesse2Tymes assisting Bagg in creating the music that would make him famous, descended into several shootings and purported murderous schemes. The irony is that rather than creating an empire, encouraging one another's success, and showcasing Memphis talent to the world, these two musicians had the ability and capacity to raise Memphis hip-hop together. They became adversaries due of street politics, money, and ego. Despite all of that chaos, Finesse2Tymes persisted in creating songs. However, that night's stress most likely permanently altered him. It alters your behavior, your level of trust, and your perspective on the world when you survive an ambush like that, and discover that someone you thought of as family was reportedly attempting to kill you. That evening, the rap scene in Memphis also lost something. Rather than two influential musicians collaborating, encouraging one another to improve, and representing their city nationally, we received a warning about the perilous intersections between the streets and the music industry. Although the game is chilly, it doesn't have to be lethal. Walking away and letting your accomplishments speak for itself is sometimes the most realistic thing you can do. Walking away, however, becomes the most difficult thing to do when pride and street credibility are involved. And that's how circumstances like this come about. Instead of collaborating, gifted artists are harming one another.